All right, let's start the unboxing. I haven't opened these boxes yet. They came pretty well wrapped in plastic, nicely protected. COLIGHT reached out to me in an email and asked me if I wanted to review some lights. And of course I would get the lights for free. I didn't need any lights, but my friend Nick here just got a 23 Forester and we put a cool winch bumper on there. And I was like, oh, he needs some lights. Oh, those look nice. So he's the one getting the lights, so I'm gonna make him do the work and unbox everything. These are called the Rob2 Pros. Rob is a reference to the robot named Wally. It has two eyes, you know, I guess, and that's kind of what they look like. That's the wiring harness. Ooh, some lenses. They sit quite a few different lens options, and we're gonna test those out. We got some different colors, some different patterns. Oh yeah, there you can see the Wally look of them. Very nice. We've already got connectors on them. And one of the things that I'm really curious about, and that we'll test here in just a second, is to figure out how much current they pull. And if you know the current and the voltage, you multiply those numbers together and you get power. Oh, there are the covers. Nice. I know that in California, you have to have covers on your off-road lights. Which ones are those?
I think the diffuse lights?
Yeah, the diffused ones. They're kind of like wavy looking. That's the widest pattern from what I've seen on their website. Nice. Those look like the intermediate ones. Nice. And we got yellow and clear. I prefer yellow. That's what I have on the front in like a fog light beam pattern. And on the sides, I have white diffused. So the widest possible. Cool. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is check the current draw or the power of the lights. All right. We unwrapped the wiring harness. It's nice and long, well-made, waterproof connectors near the lights. Super strong 40 amp relay and a nice little switch that lights up when you turn it on. The wiring harness came with terminals that are ready to go on your battery. So this thing is like super ready to go. We're not going to end up using them, but we're going to demonstrate the power. So go ahead and flip the switch on. Nice little red light confirms that they're on, and the watt meter indicates that at 14 volts, which is about alternator voltage, you get 4.4 amps of current and about 61 watts of power, which is pretty sweet for lights this size. All right, Nick is going to go ahead and replace one of the lenses. I think that's probably one of the coolest things about these lights, that you can swap the lenses. This one comes with white diffused, so the whitest white lens. And then we're going to put in the other light this lens here, which is yellow diffused or yellow widest. And then we're going to have a color competition. And then after that, we're going to put in this other lens and do yellow diffused versus yellow flood, which is their medium lens. They also make a spot, which is really good for highway driving, but we don't live in Australia, so it's not really what we're after. What we're trying to do is complement the already very good Subaru LED headlights. So it came with a 4mm Allen key, which fits the bolts that are on the sides of the mounting brackets, and it takes a 3mm for the face bolts that Nick is doing right now. Oh, and then one other thing that's pretty cool. We're going to connect this to the power panel. You'll see it. It's actually going to be the next video that I publish after this one, how to install it. These two lights are going to be on separate channels, so we're going to be able to do a really good side-by-side comparison between the two lights. Obviously, they're only going to be half as bright as if both of them were working together with the same style lens, but we'll be able to compare pretty nicely. Looks like there are some good O-rings in there. Very nice. Cool. Sweet. And then you just reverse the process. Anything tricky in there? Or was it all straightforward, Nick?
It's pretty straightforward.
Cool. Nice. And then once he reinstalls that, we'll mount it up on the bull bar and then plug the wires into the power box and wait for the sun to set, and then we're going to go out on the trail and compare the beam patterns. Should be a lot of fun. And this is also useful practice because Nick will be doing this exact same process at night on the trail as we swap out the other lens.
So the lights appear to have a pretty good build quality. They have a nice finish on them. I don't know if it's powder coated or a really nice paint or something else. They have good weight to them. They're metal, not made from plastic. And they also have nice mounting hardware. So you have this bar on the bottom here that you can mount to. You could also mount directly to the light itself with a couple different mounting spots. Then the side, there are a couple spots to mount as well if you wanted to get maybe a steeper angle so that it wouldn't run into itself.
All right, so the Body Armor 4x4 bumper has that nice little hoop, and it has these two really nice mounting tabs that are just begging for some lights. And Nick is going to do a little test fitting. In theory, you could mount it on the top of the tabs, you know, the logical way, but you might also be able to mount it on the bottom. It's looking like the bar might be in the way. But an interesting concept to consider, you know. Oh, nice. Here are the lights. They fit really nicely. We're about to do the wiring. Let me give you another view of them. Yeah, they look good. So we haven't adjusted the up and down aim yet. So they're kind of pointed up a bit. But they fit nicely. They look nicely. The color is fantastic. Yeah, so now let's do wiring.
Alright, so where the wires come out of the lights right behind, it's a really nice slot in the grill. And then the slot has like these little flaps up here under the hood, and it just feeds right up there on both sides. Then this one will kind of feed across to the other side over to hang out next to the other wire. Then we can start actually hooking it up.
And we just cut those sections off of the big wiring harness. And we're going to connect it to the power box, which is in the top right corner of the car right here. And then we're going to connect them to separate channels so that we can turn each light on and off separately, so we can do a really, really good comparison of the lenses. All right, Nick's running the two wires for the lights up to the power box. Here's the power box. Sorry about the jet. It's an 8-channel power box with different maximum current limits. He's using one of the smallest to turn the winch on and off, one of the other small ones to turn a LED light strip on that's mounted up under the hood, which is kind of nice if you have to work on the car at night. But the next two channels are free, and that's where he's going to put these wires. The cool thing about this power box is that the positive and negative connections are all right there. So instead of just having like a row of positives available and you have to like work out your own grounding solution, here you can put them all right into the same box. Oh, and I mentioned it earlier, this is going to be the very next video that I publish, is how we installed this box. We've got the same one installed in my car, and the coolest thing is that the 8-button switch panel is mounted up in the sunglass holder. It is so slick and surprisingly easy to do, so check that out if you're interested. Alright, there's a better view of the power box. It also comes with that 60 amp resettable fuse that you see mounted to the side of that plastic right there. Nice little safety mechanism there. Alright, Nick got both wires routed nicely and cleanly up to the box and poked through the slot. Now he's going to cut them to length. And he's going to carefully cut off some of that black sleeve with a utility knife, or maybe some snips. and then he's going to strip a little bit of the wire and put it into the green terminal block. So nice having both positives and negatives right there side by side. Do you see the jaw lowering down as you untwist it? Mm-hmm. All right, Nick is done. All the wires run up and connect to the terminals there. We're going to test the buttons. So we're going to show you how we turn the lights on one at a time, and also what that looks like from the inside. Turn on the hood. There it is. Yeah, nice. Oh, there's the right one. And there's the left one. Nice. So the first one was white and the second one was yellow. But switch them back and forth. Nice. Now let's show what that looks like from the inside. Oh, what a cool place for some switches. And then hit them. And so you get an orange light when you turn that channel on. And then if you turn all three of those on again, then the central button will turn them on and off together, which is pretty cool. All right, so here's a good little place to show the lights. These are just his regular headlights, and they illuminate the trail pretty well, but they don't really illuminate like your surroundings so much, like left and right. So there's the yellow diffuse. Turn that off, and here's the white diffuse. The human eye perceives the white as brighter. It feels a little more harsh to the eyes, and it does give you better color information. But if you're going to be looking at the lights for a long time, the yellow ones are a lot more pleasing. But on the way here, we were playing with the lights, and Nick pointed out that it's kind of nice having both color options available, and you can still add them both together. So that's the white and the yellow together, and it kind of makes kind of a happy medium, right? I mean,
yes, that was harsh.
Yeah, it's kind of like the best of both worlds. You still get good color information in the periphery, and you still get a little bit of soft stuff. But that's the main advantage. Oh, there's your high beams. Yeah, do that. It helps a little bit, but when you get into the really tight stuff, it helps to be able to see left and right. And I was telling him that once he makes a final lens selection, to angle the two lights outward just a little bit. So there's a little bit of overlap in the middle where he already has good headlight coverage, but better side illumination to see those obstacles. This is with just the white one, and there is more color information. I mean, it makes sense. White light is all the lights. It's hard to decide, I guess. For a couple extra dollars, you should just buy the other set of lenses, and then you can switch back and forth as you like. So we tilted them up just a little bit.
And it is a little warm to the touch, but not warm enough that it'll burn you.
Skid plates. All right, now Nick is swapping the clear diffused for the yellow flood, which is the medium lens. And then we'll have the same color, just a different pattern. And then we can compare which of those is better for certain tasks.
It's with them both.
Nice. Yeah, you can see that it adds the sides back in. Do it again, toggle the wide one. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. It's like the sides that you really want illuminated off-road. Cool. Well, let's keep rolling with the double yellows and give that a feel. All right, so we stopped because we both made an observation that we agree strongly on. The LED headlights are really white, and the yellow beam on top is kind of weird. It's like two different colors, and it's kind of distracting. And we both agreed that the white diffuse would make the most sense, because then the color of the beams would be the same, and it would be more coherent. Is it?
It would blend better.
Yeah. Yeah, so we might try that in just a little bit. All right, this is just the headlights. 1 white diffuse, 2 white diffuse. Nice. And then with the high beams clicked on, which was that last little thing, it all blends really nicely, and I think it looks fantastic. Thoughts?
I think so too.
Yeah.
But it does blend really nicely.
It does. Yeah, it does. And let's turn them both on and off at the same time. High beam is on. So that's the best that you would normally have if you were just running the car by itself. And that is all the extra surrounding information that you can gain with some nice wide angle diffuse lenses. Cool, let's test it out.